Oh my gosh. Spoiler ahead for all those who haven't seen Chapter 13 of The Mandalorian. Wow, I am speechless. I am just in total shock with what we all just witnessed. It felt like a really good episode of the Clone Wars, and it left me wanting so much more. I mean, I made a video about the things that I wanted to see from Ahsoka, and, well, like, all of them were covered in this episode. Not to mention that overall, it was just an amazing chapter to the story. Leave it to Dave Filoni to not only understand the lore of Star Wars, but to give fans one of the best episodes or pieces of Star Wars ever, and I'm talking about even before Disney bought it. It was just so good. We're going to be breaking down all of the name drops and how this will affect the show moving forward in the future. Again, this isn't going to be a full episode breakdown. You guys have seen the episode yourselves, I hope, and don't need me to explain everything that happened piece by piece. However, we are going to be talking about some of the best moments from the chapter, so again, if you haven't seen an episode, this is just another spoiler warning. Also, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe for more Star Wars content. Now, let's get into today's video. Okay, so again, this is one of the best episodes to ever come out of Star Wars, and I'm talking all Star Wars, including George Lucas's Star Wars and Disney Star Wars. Dave Filoni did such an amazing job with this. He literally introduced so many other branching story tangents that could be explored in other shows and connected even more lore to The Mandalorian than, had already been done before. Overall, the episode was a 10 out of 10. I have no complaints whatsoever. The feel of the episode was amazing. Again, it felt like a Clone Wars episode. It looked great. It felt great. I felt like I was watching, a really good Star Wars show. It was just, I'm speechless. Honestly, I don't even know how to express what I'm feeling right now. Also, Rosario Dawson looked amazing. I've seen a few people complaining about her or saying, whatever negative things. I think she did a great job. I mean, just the whole feel of her as Ahsoka, the look, the lightsabers, even her facial expressions reminded me of Ahsoka. Also, I love how right from the beginning we got to see her. They totally could have spent the entire episode just looking for her, Mando and Baby Yoda kind of going through the forest, trying to find this lost Jedi Ahsoka, and only had like the last 3 minutes of the show actually involving her. But not in this chapter. Right from the get-go, we saw Ahsoka just cutting down guards, lightsabers in hand. Her lightsabers also looked and sounded amazing. They did a great job making them feel like they did in Rebels, albeit they were, the normal thickness. Her wardrobe was also great. I mean, it looked exactly like what we saw her wearing in the end of the Clone Wars Season 7, which again I thought was a little weird because, she had Rebels, but either way, it was awesome. Her face tattoos looked great too. Every time I saw her, she just looked great, and I really hope that they use Rosario Dawson in the future for more Ahsoka projects. I just can't get over how awesome it was to see her again. She is by far and away one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, and again, this episode just solidified that even more. I mean, seeing Ahsoka brought back so many memories, so many good times, and to be able to have that again in this show is just awesome. There was also so much mentioned in this episode, so many questions that were answered, and so many new potential adventures that we could see. One of the biggest reveals of the night was Baby Yoda's backstory. It makes so much more sense than any of the bullcrap theories that I had. I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't think of this. I mean, I did think of it, but I didn't really think that that was a possibility. I thought it had to be this big, grand reveal that he was something, so important. And of course, he still is important, but he's not a clone or anything like that. But anyway, it was revealed that Baby Yoda's actual name is Grogu. The way he responded to it and everything was hilarious. I loved seeing that. It was also revealed that he was found and trained by the Jedi. I mean, duh, of course he was. Why would Yoda not be on a constant lookout for another extremely powerful Force sensitive of his own species? Grogu was born 41 years before the Battle of Yavin, the same year that Anakin was born. I don't know if that's significant or not, but it would be interesting to see them tie in, Grogu and Anakin in some way. Anyway, this means that he was found when he was very young, and he was taken to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. Ahsoka said that he was trained by many Jedi in the temple, and that he was incredibly powerful in the Force. She said that he survived the Purge, and then his memories became dark, and that he had to hide his powers in order to survive as he was being, taken around the galaxy and everything like that. She also sensed much fear in him and said that Grogu was too attached to Din Djarin and therefore she refused to train him, mentioning that attachments led to the dark side and that even the best of Jedi, referring to Anakin Skywalker, her old master, can become corrupted by them. It was a nice little nod to the Clone Wars and to Anakin Skywalker, and it also added so much depth to Baby Yoda's, well now Grogu's, storyline. Another huge name that was dropped was Grand Admiral Thrawn. While Ahsoka was battling the magistrate, she asked her where her master was, and then she said,
"Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?"
Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn? Thrawn being alive, and Ahsoka looking for him, means so much. I might make a full breakdown of what this means, but basically, it means that 1, Thrawn is alive, and 2, this means that maybe Ezra is alive and already back and somewhere else in the galaxy. And 3, the Ahsoka spin-off show that, I was talking about, will be about her and Thrawn, like I said in the video. I don't know for sure, but we will see in the future, and I'm really excited to see where this potential avenue with Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's one of my favorite villains by the way, could go. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, even though there is so much that happened in this episode, was another name dropped, and this time it was the planet Tython. I literally jumped out of my seat and yelled. I am a big-time Old Republic fan, and to hear one of the most important planets in all of Star Wars finally be mentioned and made canon is incredible. For those of you who don't know about Tython, it's basically the place where the Jedi Order was founded tens of thousands of years before the Battle of Yavin. It holds such a special significance to the Force and to the Jedi Order, and it's great to see it be recognized. I honestly think that Ahch-To should have been Tython in The Last Jedi, but they didn't go that way. They didn't do a lot of things. But honestly, leave it to Dave Filoni to bring in another piece of the Old Republic. I'm going to be making a separate video going over this scene in particular and everything that could happen involving the planet Tython and Baby Yoda, or Grogu now. Overall, this chapter was amazing, and I've already watched it like 3 times, and it hasn't even been out for a day. I loved seeing Ahsoka in live action. It was everything I wanted and more. I just hope they bring her back because Rosario Dawson did such a great job. I am more than excited to see Tython in The Mandalorian and also to see what happens with Din Djarin and Grogu. Never did I think that a show about a Mandalorian would bring so much depth and great storytelling revolving around the Jedi and the Force. Great episode. I'm actually going to go and watch it again because it's just that good and I'm still not tired of it. Well, that's it for today's video. If you liked what you saw today, be sure to subscribe for more Star Wars content. And remember to forever be a Star Wars fan.